Hey there folks, rinimt here and welcome back to the Game of Fortune where this time I've actually loaded the right save. You won't see me loading the wrong save at all. That's all there was to it. In the last part we wrapped up game 3. Yes, game 3 where we played hide and go seek essentially. And yeah, there should be only one other survivor when the other group joins us, so in theory all there was to it, which meant I'd probably have to help Richard or William. Did I even have to help them at all? Couldn't I just bow out and let them solve things on their own? It seems like it would be the best solution for everyone. Best not to meddle in their affairs, after all. Yeah, maybe I'd just take the first chance I got to lose if I could. Soon William and Richard joined me on the couch, probably just resting and trying to prepare for what would be an intense game between the two of them. I was keen on just taking a nap. I deserved a small amount of rest at this point, didn't I? But of course, I wanted to be able to sleep in relative silence. There just had to be some juicy conversation going on. Hey, Richard, I know the cold is kind of like dangerous and all that, but why do you want him specifically dead? Couldn't you go for like anyone else in the world? Guess I could, but this is somewhat personal to me. Personal. Do you know what happened here 4 years ago? Here, like, in this place? No, I mean more so around the meadow. I was there with my father. We were sort of guests of the Digits of Eden. It's pretty boring, honestly. I was just watching and waiting idly while my father was catching up with the other Digits of Eden leaders. But all hell broke loose when everyone came back. What happened? Honestly, it was chaos. There was a lot going on. Well, I can tell you things from my perspective anyway. Game had just ended, and the group that was a part of it had come pouring back out of that glowing gate you saw before. The crowd around them had been cheering and roaring with excitement. It had been another successful game, another success in their eyes. It was easy to get swept up in that chaos. Bodies were jumping, people were yelling. Honestly, I just wanted to let them leave. My father was pushing his way through the crowd, looking for some woman, someone that had come out of the gate. I followed behind him, primarily because I didn't want to get left behind, but then I saw it. Cole had grabbed this woman by the neck and had slammed her down onto the ground. I didn't understand what was happening at the time. It was such a chaotic blur. I just remember that he pulled out a knife and raised it into the air. You had one job to do. One goddamn job, you stupid bitch. What the hell are you wasting your wish for? I don't care how much money you're giving us. You had one goddamn job. Can't even do something as simple as giving me what I want, then you're useless. You're a goddamn dead weight. And he plunged the knife in her over and over again. Piece of shit, you think we can't replace you? We'll find someone else. We'll find someone else that'll get the job done. Women's screams were drowned out by the roar of the crowd. Most of them were still oblivious as to what was going on. He just kept stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. He had such anger, hatred, and disregard for human life in his eyes. I was paralyzed. It was like I was staring into the eyes of a monster. But my father wasn't so easily stunned into inaction. What are you doing? Get off of her. Are you mad? He had rushed over and pushed Cole off of the woman. Get out of my way, oh old man, or I'll carve that withered brain out of yours out of your skull. I don't remember why, but there was a gunshot. It was enough to get me to stop staring in a paralyzed state. Stop! You can't just kill people. The goddamn challenge. I can kill whoever damn well I want. You can join that bitch if you want. I don't care. There was such bloodlust emanating from this monster. I didn't doubt that he'd take personal delight in carving us up. But I couldn't just stand back and let this man have his way, butchering this woman. Just couldn't. I'm not moving. Fine, I don't give a shit. You can both die for all I care. The world won't miss some wasted old bag and his pathetic prick of a son. Just raising his knife up again, and the gleam of it just made me freeze again. I just wasn't used to this. I wasn't used to being in danger, and my body just wouldn't move. And the murderous intent in his eyes, it was enough to freeze my blood cold. Richard, move! As the knife was swung at me, my father pushed me out of the way. Ugh! There was a blood-curdling scream. My body was shocked back into action again. Cole was about to swing again, but My father would just barely avoid getting knifed in the gut a second time. What the hell is happening? Kana's voice had cut through part of the chaos, which apparently was enough to keep Cole from pressing us any further. Get out of my way, old man, or do you want to be next? Get your hands off of him. Cole, what are you doing? This goddamn bitch went against her word. That's what happened. I had one job, and she couldn't even do that. Dead weight. Just goddamn dead weight. What the hell have you done? Is that Yuri? Did you just murder? Shut up! This. What's going on over here? Why are we firing shots? What's going on? Nigel is just. Hey, what's with the crowd? Aren't we meant to be celebrating? Now everyone's screaming and. It looks like some kind of commotion happened. Oh dear, she looks like she's bleeding. There'd been a small crowd that circled us, and the other leaders of the Digits of Eden had come over to see what was going on. Hey Phil, you don't look like you're doing too hot either. Ugh. It's okay, Dad. We're gonna get you help. The wound doesn't look too bad. Just keep pressure on it. You there. Go grab some bandages from the car. Take him to a hospital. Take him a hospital too. Keep things quiet though. Go with him, Richard. Make sure that Phillips gets taken care of. Right. Thank you. They were quick to get the situation under control as I helped carry my dad to safety. So we're gonna talk about the bleeding corpse that you just made, Cole. What about Kana? What about you, Kana? Why do you have a gun pulled out? Or are you the one? Drop it, Sebastian. I'm fine. Just trying to figure out what happened. What happened was I got screwed over. Well, that makes two of us. I didn't murder a wealthy donor because of it. This bitch, that old man, this shit couldn't get any worse. We're gonna talk about this later. Let's get this cleaned up. He didn't apologize. He didn't show any remorse for me, my father, or the woman he killed. He was just obsessed that he didn't get what he wanted. And you know what the worst part about it was? That woman died. Nothing came of it. What do you mean nothing came of it? I mean that Cole got away with murder, no punishments as far as I know. Everyone that witnessed it got paid off or intimidated into keeping quiet about it. Even me and my father were silenced, first with money, then with threats later on to make sure we didn't talk about it. I guess it would have been a bad idea to go public about what happened. You could have died. That's what I thought at the time. I wanted to keep my dad safe. But I wish I'd done more. Spoken out, just gotten the word out so that he'd suffer some kind of consequence. They're all bad. Each of those leaders has got something crooked about them. Why else would they run that horrible cult? But Cole's gotta be the worst one. He doesn't help people. He's just muscle intimidation, barely pretending to be some force of good when he's just as selfish as the rest of them. But he doesn't mind hurting and killing people to get what he wants. At least the others are somewhat humane. Somewhat. That's why he needs to die. I doubt they can change the cult. I doubt that anything will. At least I can remove the worst elements of it. Oh, come on. It can't be that bad, right? I mean, Sebastian isn't all that bad. I don't know that much about Sebastian, but anyone that reaps the benefits of manipulating people can't exactly be good. You know him personally. Oh, well, not really. I've just heard some things about him from Elizabeth. Well, take it from me. Even with pleasant smiles and friendly faces, they're all crooked in some way. See it in their eyes. In their eyes, huh? I've been meaning to ask, but have you always had the ability to read people by looking at their eyes? Not always. It was something that sort of developed around 12 years or so ago. It's pretty scary. Scary? What's scary about being able to know what people are feeling or thinking? Scary when you don't know why it's happening or how to stop it. I already had a hard enough time making eye contact with people growing up. This only made it 10 times worse. You couldn't make eye contact with people growing up? Well, it's not that I couldn't. It's just I didn't like doing it. It made things hard growing up. People thought I was weird, so I had a hard time getting along with people. A lot of the time, people thought I was just being rude or inattentive. Oh, sorry to hear that. It sucks when people always look down on you and think you're a freak. I didn't say that anyone thought I was a freak, just weird. Right, but eventually it stopped, right? Eventually people started treating you fairly and justly, right? They started respecting you at some point, right? Eventually, but it's not like everyone did. Some people still think I'm off. Some people just tolerate me. Some people genuinely like me. I've given up trying to please everyone. I do what I can to blend in, but I'm not gonna break my back, brain, or balls trying to please everyone I see. That's some strong language. Something that pulls some strong feelings from me. Strong feelings require strong language. Well, I think you're a neat guy, Richard. You've been nothing but friendly and kind to me. Supportive, too, even though we're mostly strangers. Thanks. It means a lot to hear that. Though I still do remember that you called me creepy when we first met. That's just because of the way you dress and you snuck up on me. Oh, can't win them all. I guess it's just a matter of time, then. William let out a heavy sigh. Got it. Sorry I interrupted. No need to apologize. It's just a question, right? Yeah. Anyway, I learned how to cope and deal with it over time. I was able to stand looking at people in the eyes a little better. I felt like I was blending in a lot more, a bit more. All of a sudden, I started to, like, see what people are feeling. I was feeling what they were feeling. It freaked me the heck out. I started regressing back into avoiding people. Yeah, I guess it becomes a bit of a shock, wouldn't it? Yeah, the first few months of that new power just felt bizarre and strange. But my dad managed to push and pry me out of my shell. He's always looking out for me, always doing what he thinks is best for me. Richard let out a heavy sigh. That's the only thing that's making me have second thoughts about all this. What, you think he'll be disappointed? Yeah, that's really the only thing I think that'll hurt me the most. Seeing his scowling face of confusion and anger, knowing that I did this, he won't be expecting it. He thinks I'm gonna save Mom, but I'm not. I never was. I couldn't tell him that or he'd want to bring me along. But he's gonna find out eventually when this is all over. I know, but that doesn't mean I can't dread it. What do you think he'll do? Probably yell at me, ask me why I did it, what I was thinking, stuff like that. You really care about your dad, huh? Of course I do. I love my father. He's the last person I'd want to disappoint. That makes it all the more difficult to do this. You hate to make the people you love disappointed. I get that. I don't think I'd want to make Elizabeth disappointed either. She's one of the few people that respects me. She's your teacher, isn't she? How long have you known her for? A couple of years. She's been teaching me about a lot of things, not just the supernatural. I hate to admit it, but I'm not exactly the smartest tool in the shed. Sharpest tool in the shed. Right, but Elizabeth, she doesn't mind taking her time with me to make sure I get things. She's supportive, encouraging, friendly. I wish I said these things to her while she was alive. This is surprising. I don't think I've ever heard William talk down about himself. Why is he suddenly getting honest? Well, he still can't, just it's not as though she's dead for good. I'm sure that she'll really appreciate hearing it. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's the problem. What do you mean by that? Are you afraid she's going to be disappointed in you because of what you were going to wish for? Hey, you can't cheat by using your magic vision or whatever. Pretty sure that Clyde could come to the same conclusion as I did just based on your reaction. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. What is that you're going to wish for anyway? William's hands dug into his pocket again, searching for something. Huh? Where'd it go? Crap, did I drop it? Need help looking for something. No, it's fine. I need it anyway. It's to help save my dad, that's all. He's sick, so I need to make a wish that'll cure him. That's all. Oh, that's probably what I'll do for my mother. Or already have done? My mother's sick as well, so I probably wish for her to get better. Oh, there's no real way of knowing that for sure. Yeah, then you get what I'm trying to do. Is that really the whole truth? Why wouldn't it be? I'm sensing a lot of agitation and doubt right now. That's just... Conversation came to a halt as we heard the sound of a door opening. Likely the last competitor. We all craned our heads to see who was entering into the room. Alphonse, looks like you're lucky number 4. Lucky number 4, huh? Shouldn't feel that way. Why not? You survived. You won. If that's not lucky, then what is? In a way, you're right. It's just that I wasn't happy about how I had to win. What do you mean? Everett was controlling that woman. Laura kept on making promises, the big, grand kind that fill you with hope. I knew what he was trying to do. He's trying to convince Laura to make a wish that she hadn't originally intended. And the last thing I need is more numbers against me. What do you mean? Don't worry about it. Shouldn't concern you. Just know that the reason I wanted to join that group was because I suspected he might be trying to screw them over. Once I knew it was right, I knew I couldn't let them get a chance at winning. Just couldn't. I wouldn't say it's a noble thing to do, but it's what I had to do. Not that you really had a choice, but only 1 out of the 4 of you could have survived that game. True, it's just worked out for me. I could afford to be selfish. Still wish I didn't have to have a hand in their deaths, but what can you do? This place makes killers out of all of us. Anyway, no point fretting over it for long. We've got a game to do. Just let me check something real quick. Alphonse walked over towards the portrait on the wall and stared at it. Must have been some tough game. Sounds like there's some kind of thing going on with Everett and Alphonse, maybe? Maybe. Something about convincing Laura to make a wish for her. There was that argument that they were having earlier. Right, well, I guess we won't have to worry about that for now, will we? Seems like they all got taken care of. Poor Laura. Seemed like a really nice woman. Hopefully, however she died peacefully. What? Why are you looking at me like that? No reason, you just seem really disappointed in Laura. I just told you I was sad she died. She was nice. Nice people don't deserve to die. Right. That's all there is to it. It is! Stop trying to read into things! Sorry, you're just really easy to tease sometimes. Whatever. We'll see how you're feeling once we get into the game. Feeling like I won't have to do anything. Right, you don't have to win. Well, Richard, you'll soon see my amazing skills in action. I'm sure I will. It'll be a fun match for sure. Assuming it's not something too horrific and deadly. That'll ruin the fun. Or it'll make things more exciting. You are the one out of it after seeing a crushed body. You 3 done gossiping? Hans walked back with a deep scowl across his face. You alright? Honestly, no. I'm pretty pissed off. But there's not much that I can do about it now. I just have to press onward. All I can do now is hope that somehow this all works out. Like I said, you don't need to worry about it. By the way, did one of you drop some piece of paper? Paper. So something like ISKNKKAEATAEL? What in the world does that mean? Ah, that's mine! All yours. Alphonse offered him the piece of paper and William was quick to swipe it and tuck it into his pocket. What is that? Some kind of language that you made up on your own? No, it's just some notes? Some weird notes you've got there. What does it mean? It's obviously not English. It's just... something but a reminder. You don't need to worry about it. It's with a harsh tone, kid. It's only a few letters. It can't be that important, can it? Doesn't matter. It's not like you have time to think about it anyway. Let's just get into the next game already, okay? William was quick to walk over to the lone open door on the far end of the lounge. Guess he's ready to go. No point in delaying the inevitable. Shall we go? Yeah, I'm right behind you. ISKNKKAEATAEL? What if he's our secret weapon? Alphonse? Well, one can only hope so. Coming, let's get down to business. Alright, one last game to go. Let's do this. We all nod and entrance in the last waiting room. I wonder what Bella's gonna have in store for us this time. Feels like she's gonna give us some horrifically complex game to end things off with. You think so? Just a feeling. No point in having a game that doesn't have an exciting ending, right? Sort of like a finale, right? A finale? Oh, you took words right out of my mouth, Alphonse! Right on cue. I'll turn to look at the screen. Right on cue indeed. Normally I like to let you all bicker and banter for a bit, but it seems like you're all in a rush today. Or maybe you just got all the banter out early and... Huh, you know, this is a very interesting group. Is it? I guess you wouldn't remember all that well, would you? Let's just say that it's somewhat nostalgic to see the boys together again. wonder if things will go differently this time around. What do you mean? Nothing, nothing. Just a little godly humor is all. Now, I'm sure that you all know that there can only be one winner in this game, right? Thus, the game that I'll be selecting for you will result in only one winner. That much clear to you? There is one winner. I mean, that is sort of the base of this game, right? There can only be one winner. Exactly. I'm hoping you all enjoy it to the fullest. So what are we gonna be playing then? Let's play something. I'll test those brains of yours. We'll play Pop Off. Pop Off. Yeah, don't you feel like popping off? This is the finale. You should feel excitement, adrenaline, endorphins. Right, yeah, I'm feeling all that right now. Just gonna get nice and contained. I like to go to make fun games for you people. You lack any excitement whatsoever. I'm excited, I'm ready to pop off. Well, at least I can always count on you, William. Damn right. Now, if you're all into the game room, I can give you details about the game. Toodaloo! Pretty sure that Alphonse was already walking towards one of the doors. Aren't you gonna think things over for a bit? What's there to think over? Just gonna be a game, same as any other. No point in trying to strategize or overthink what's gonna end up happening. And you have a point, but I feel like it's tradition. Fine, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. That another word he entered into the game room. I guess he's not for team spirit. To be fair, there isn't really a team, so to speak. What's about the spirit of things? Maybe he was just in a bad mood? He's maybe upset earlier. Maybe, but I doubt there's anything that we can do to help him in that regard. Well then I guess we should just play the game then. Now for my victory to shine. Don't just stand there in silence. Come on, let's just go. Hey! This room seems familiar. Yeah, feels like I've been here before. Who's to say? Maybe you've just seen a very similar room somewhere else in your life? Bill had poofed onto the table, smiling from ear to ear with delight. Lots of people want to steal from my sense of interior design, after all. Your style of interior design is mostly blue, gold, and lots of clover motifs. Exactly! It's perfect, isn't it? Twilight gets tiring on the eyes. Well, you're free to close them whenever you want. But let's talk about my amazing sense of style and who's ready to play Pop-Off. I am. As a spirit. Alright, listen up to the rules because they're super important. Ahem. There was just something on my... Ahem. Pop-Off is a game about careful selection of pieces off a board to avoid meeting a horrific end. Game rules work like this. I will give each of you a chance to place a death ball on a 4x4 board. For all the balls in place, they'll be hidden underneath a bunch of cups. We'll take turns popping cups up off the board one at a time. Pop a cup up and there's a death ball underneath, then you die. Wow, who could have seen that coming? Think of it as a fun little surprise. Anyway, that's basically how the game will be played. We'll go until there's only one player left who will be the winner. Simple, right? Makes sense to me. Great. I'm going to be a small section on the rules for placing a death ball and all that, but you all understand the basic rules, right? I've got one question. How are you going to set the playing order? Simple. First place to play a death ball, the first person to go up. The second person plays a death ball will go second, so on and so forth. Alright, guess that makes sense. Is there a time limit on how long we can think over our moves? Well, there's no strict time limit, but if I feel the need to put some pressure on you, I will. Okay. If that's all, then let's get to the death ball selection portion of the game. Would each of you move into one of the adjoining rooms? I have to go to another room to make the death ball selection? Of course! If we did all here in person, it'd be obvious where each one was. This way, no one knows where anything is. It'll be exciting. Ah, see. Yeah, that makes sense in hindsight. Good. Now get a move on. Let's see how this one will play out. Alright. No need to get pushy. We each moved into one of the adjoining rooms and the door closed swiftly behind us. This room again. Don't you have any other rooms you could use than this one? It just seemed convenient. I mean, it already has a computer. Why not use it again? Because it does nothing but bring up bad memories. Oh well, grow up. Let's make some good memories here instead. Ugh. Alright, now that you're here, let me give you a rundown on this portion of the game. Very important, so listen up. Death ball selection will be sort of free for all. As soon as I allow it, you'll be allowed to select where you want your death ball to be placed. However, there are some rules you should be aware of. For starters, once you select a spot, you must place your death ball there. The only exception to this rule is if it's already a death ball at that spot, or if there's a dead ball. A dead ball. Yes, a dead ball. It's a special gold ball that won't kill you if you select it. However, you can't place a death ball in its position. There's a total of 4 dead balls, so 4 of the spaces will automatically be blocked off. Understand that much? Got it. So there's really at most 12 spots I can place a death ball. And if the other 3 place a death ball before me, then that might narrow down the spots I can pick to 9. Here, let's look at our visualization of the board state. All the balls will be hidden underneath one of these cups. To inform you properly, there will be 4 gold death balls, 4 white death balls, 8 blue plain balls. You understand? I think I got it, yeah. Excellent! Then give me a moment to ensure that everyone's on the same page. I'll open up the selections. Right? You do that. So I'll just pick my own death ball when the game starts. After all, it's not like I need to win this game, right? Still, there's something kind of exciting about this game concept. First phase might just seem to be a simple choice, but there's a ton of information you can glean based on whether or not you can place the ball in one location or another. If you were to wait until for a while, that's a little weird English, and have your opponents place down death balls before you, then there'd be around 41% chance of actually selecting a valid spot. Might be able to figure out where a death ball was placed. Though you can't really be sure if it's a dead ball or a death ball, since you can't check if it's a valid spot when it's turned into an invalid spot. If you were really lucky, you could, in theory, figure out what the 9 valid spots are and have a buffer knowing what spots would be safe to pick. Not only that, as the game plays out, you might be able to determine what spots have duds or which ones have death balls based on your opponent's reactions. You seem to even thought there. I was just thinking about what a wonderfully crafted game this is, how it tickles the brain in just the right way. It's real fun, ain't it? I can tell that you want to enjoy it to the max. If I do, I probably shouldn't. Why not? Games are fun. You should play to win. Play to enjoy yourself. Play to get the thrill of it. Anyway, I'm just going to let you know that we're about to open up the floodgates. You'll soon be able to select the spot on the game board where you want to place your death ball. To make a selection, just touch the cup on the screen that you want to place a ball under. If it's invalid, I'll let you know. Once everyone's placed a death ball, I'll release you back into the game room. So here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go! Set those death balls! She makes it sound like it's a race, but it's anything but that. Really, you'd rather not be the first person to go. Let's see. Already others, where would I end up putting my ball? Is there some kind of pattern people would avoid? I think most people would avoid putting it in the center. It feels like it draws on the eyes too much. Corners feel too obvious, or perhaps one of the sides then? All that logic, perhaps it's a death ball A2, 3, B1, 4, C1, 4, D2, 3. There's really no way to tell. It's just my own internal logic. But I can test it. I tap the cup on A2. Guess that one's either a dead or a death ball. Okay, maybe C1? That one's no good either. What about C4? Shoot. Guess that's my spot then. Still, I got a good amount of info. At least 2 spots that might be duds or dead balls. I'm sure that everyone else is probably thinking something along those lines too. Why am I even getting involved in this again? I don't need to win. I'm just getting too excited over this game. It's always been a problem, hasn't it? I get sucked into these kinds of things way too easily. This is hard to shake old habits even now. Alright, the death balls have been placed. Each of you enter in the game room now, please. Okay, game time. Are you all satisfied with your choices? About as satisfied as anyone can be putting a ball under a cup. No one's gonna be able to guess where I place mine. Don't you want them to? Well, yeah, but I won't need them to pick my death ball in order to win. Be like a crown the achievement, so to speak. Don't think you're really getting the rules of the game properly. Don't worry about me, I've got this all figured out. Since you're all clearly on the same page, let me tell you the order of play. It's Richard, Alphonse, William, and then Clyde. Huh, didn't think I'd be the last person to pick a spot. You snooze, you lose. And you were always going to lose. He was terrible a while back, but now he's becoming that annoying prick again. I'll always be able to see him lose before I kick the bucket. Alright, now that you know the order, Richard, step on up and be the first to take a cup from the board. They'll pat the table, which already had the game board set up. Good luck and good fortune by merry players. Richard stepped up first and sat down to stare at the board. Alright, here goes nothing. What are my odds of picking a spot that will kill me? Assuming that you're not going to pick your own death ball, that'd be about 3 in 11 or 27% chance. You're pretty good at doing fractions. I was always pretty good at math. Well, those are some pretty good odds, I'd say. No point worrying about it. Let's try this one. It'd be a safe bet. Richard's hand reached out to A4 and hung his hand over it for a few seconds before lifting up the cup off the board. Ta-da! Is that one of the dud balls? Yep, so it should be safe, right, Belle? That's correct! A gold ball is a dud ball, so you can just pop that one off without any worry. Talk about a lucky break. Of course the first ball he picks is a dud ball. It wasn't luck. What do you mean it wasn't luck? How else would you pick it? Can't you figure it out? You cheated! No, I didn't cheat. And what did you do? Didn't get through, William. How would Richard possibly have known where a dead would have been? Well, he'd have to try putting his death ball in a spot that had a dud on it. There you go! You solved it! But what if it was just in their death ball location? Keep thinking, William. Richard was the first person in the rotation. What does that mean? It means that he was the first one to put down the death ball. Which also means he probably knew that the dud he hit was a dud and not someone else's death ball. Bingo! You got it, kid. Well, I am a quick learner. That shit should have been obvious you didn't jump to accusing people of cheating. Well, we got that cleared up. I'm up next. Alphonse moved to the board and sat down. Alright. Any of you want to give me a hint as to where you picked? Why would I do something like that? I don't know. Felt like it was worth asking at least. No, I think you can figure things out. Darn. Guess I really am in this alone. Clyde, want to help me out? Nope. You're on your own. Damn. Alright, well, guess I'll just try and get lucky. Here goes. Austin flinched his hand, swept over D3. Huh, guess I lucked out. Blue ones are lame, as in they're safe to pick. Weren't you listening to the rules? Yeah, but I'm more of a visual learner. I remember things better when they're written down. Well, try to remember that blue and gold is safe. White is death. Got it, got it. By the way, I'm safe. William, you're up next. How do you know that spot was safe? I didn't. You didn't have some kind of trick to know? Oop, just made a random guess. I had faith that things would work out. I guess this is just a guessing game then. Well, there are some ways to narrow things down if you look carefully. What do you mean by that? And don't worry about it. That only makes me worry about it more. Let's just shrug and move over to let William near the board. Ugh, okay, it's fine. I've got this. I'll feel it out. Okay, just have to pick the right one. The right one. What are you doing? I'm shaking a cup to see if I hear the ball underneath. Is that allowed? Sure, he can move the cup as long as he doesn't knock one off the board. That would count as lifting your cup up, since you'd see the ball that was under it. Right, but William, I don't think the balls sound all that different. You don't know that? Watch a master work his magic. You're a student. Alright, I think this one ought to be safe. Mystical B2, here we go. You know, snatch the cup off the board. Ha! Told you I could tell the difference. Well, shame on me for doubting your abilities then. Damn right, if you doubt my abilities, you're only gonna doom yourself. So watch yourself before you get wrecked. Right, I'll keep it in mind. Walked up to the board and sat down. Let's see if we can play around with this for a moment. So far, there have been no death balls pulled yet, but there was one dud that was pulled. So I know the A2 and C1 are either duds or death balls, but considering that I'm the last in the rotation, I think the odds that they're death balls is pretty high. So avoid those spots for sure, but maybe I should pretend I'm gonna grab them and see if there are any reactions that I can pull out of anyone? Not trying to win, I'm just trying to have fun, that's all. I think I'll go for A2. Hand toward the cup and place it on top of the cup. Having second thoughts. Maybe a few. No real strong reactions. Chances are they're trying to read me as much as I'm trying to read them. Lift my hand off the cups and begin to float it over some of the other cups. C1? No reaction. Then maybe it's safe? Or are they just faking so that I can pick it and die? Will you pick up already? Didn't rush you when you had your turn. Fine, I'll pick D2. Fine, pick it. I don't care. Let's hurry things up. Womp. Womp. Oh. Well, look what just popped up! A death ball. Oh, don't be sad, Clyde. I know that you wanted to play more, but look on the bright side. What bright side? You're helping set the tone for the rest of the game! Gee, that really makes me feel better about the whole thing. Sorry, Clyde. Why are you apologizing? That was my death ball. Feels like I had a hand in your death. Well, technically you did. Don't worry about it. It wasn't like you were gunning to get me killed. It was just some bad luck. Happens to everyone, right? That's right! In your case, your bad luck is going to cost you quite dearly. They'll pick up the death ball from the table and toss it over to me. Cut in could already feel intense heat radiating off of it. Is it some kind of bomb? Well, I guess this is where I bow out. Good luck and good fortune, everyone. Especially you, Richard. I don't know why I said that. It just sort of came out without thinking. Well, sentiment is appreciated. Wait, before you go. What? Where'd you put your death ball? It's... Huh. Well, that was quick and painless. I suppose that's better than being drawn out and painful, though. Now they're not going to know where I put my death ball at. That's fine. Doesn't concern me anymore. After all, I'm dead again for the nth time. And this is for the best, isn't it? Now one of them will win and things will progress smoothly. We can just rest for now. Rest and let this cold embrace of death comfort me until I wake again. Well, at least for an explosion, he didn't make a mess of his body. Yeah, it's kind of like you just blasted the life out of him. Well, it would be bad if I got blood, guts, and gore all over the room, wouldn't it? That didn't stop you in the last game we played. Different games and different aesthetics. How about let me just clean up his body real quick? I walked over to Clyde's charred corpse and laid her hands on it. Instantly began to burn with bright blue flames, leaving nothing but ash. And the ash eventually burned away. If it wasn't the body, I might have thought it was beautiful, but it was just sad. Oh, I'm Richard now. Alright, now that we've gotten that taken care of, let's get back to the game. Richard, you're up next again. Right. Walked back over the board and sat down. That should be easy. I already know a few safe spots. Clyde was hovering his hand over A2 or C1. He didn't look certain, but he thinks that they're either duds or death balls. Holmes was also avoiding A2. He might not have shown it but I could tell he was anxious about picking that one. Probably hit that dud trying to place a death ball as well. William, I don't think he actually knows where any duds or death balls aside from his own are. In that case, the best thing to do would be to pick A2. This one. Yep, just as I thought. Another dud! Frustration, annoyance. He wanted to pick that spot. I was right. He must have hit that dud when trying to place his own ball at some point. Took my move, kid. Sorry, I'm just doing what I figured was the best move. Especially since he would have picked it himself, probably because I already told him where my death ball was. He didn't have a reason not to pick A2 at that point. Well, guess I'll just have to improvise. Maybe I'll get lucky. Holmes took a seat and glared at the board intensely. Watch him, see where he looks and where he doesn't. Eyes are on the 2 column. Uncertainty, fear, anxiety. I was wondering if you should pick the last cup in the 2nd column. That means he didn't place that one there. Now his eyes are scanning across the C row, looking at them all with the same amount of confusion and fear. I didn't place one on that row then either then. Turn my head to see William's reactions. He was glaring at the board just as intensely. The legends are the same: tense, stiff, anxious. Neither of them know for sure where the C row is safe or not. They don't know it's safe. Maybe they know some amount, but can't be certain. I never disclosed where he put his death ball after all. Screw it. Looks like he found his courage to make a move and he's reaching for A3. Phew. Relief. Obvious relief, all things considered. Shit, now this is getting intense. Alright, my turn. Just gotta avoid the death ball. He's anxious too. We all are, but he seems doubly so. He was hoping that someone would be dead by his turn. How many valid balls are left on the board? Well, there's only been 1 death ball taken off the board. There's 10 cups left, so do the math. 10 balls minus 3 death balls means there's 7 valid spots left. Yeah, that's about right. Well, if we got this pace, each of us picking perfectly, you'll end up the winner. Really? He's right. There are only 7 valid spots left. If we all pick perfectly, eventually Alphonse and I would have to pick the last death balls. Okay, I just play perfectly and then I'll win. Such a confidence, only he thinks that he has it in the bag, or at least sees a clear victory path. Then what to pick? His hand glides over the cups. He's avoiding the 1 column. Do you think there's a death ball there? He has to. There's apprehension. He's shaking the A1 cup. Focus. He's trying to push away his anxiety. Now he's shaking the C2 cup. Hope? Glee? Feels positive, certain. Though I can't actually tell if it's some placebo he's put in his head or actually hear or feel a difference in the balls. This one should be safe. Yes! William pumped his fist up with delight as he popped off the chair. Hell yeah, I'm on a roll, baby! Be careful, William. Pride comes up before the fall. What does that mean? Saying that when you're doing great is right before you screw up and lose it all. No, I got this. I totally got this. Always quick to fill himself with that false fleeting pride. Oh well, I suppose it's fine to let him indulge in it for a moment. I'm up next. Good luck. My disadvantage. Alphonse and William still know where their death balls are. It's a small advantage, but it's one that might be the difference between winning and losing. Not knowing Clyde's death ball messes things up as well. Though, I can remedy this problem slightly. Be subtle, careful, look for a reaction that'll tell me where one of their death balls are. Do that, then I might be able to survive this round, at least. Be slow, methodical, let them see you ponder over each decision as if your life depended on it. And glance just for a moment as you become deliberate. That's when they'll show you the truth in their eyes. I can only see one of them at a time. Who to watch? Look over to Alphonse for just a moment. Ah, his eyes are closed. Is he just thinking to himself right now? Well, it's no use then. Keep an eye on William. Right, slow and steady. Let's start from the top left and work our way down. A1. That was fast. He was excited, gleeful, though it might be good to test this out with some of the other reactions he gives. Try the other cups. Move my hand carefully but deliberately across the board and just glance to the side to see how William was reacting. Disappointment, annoyance, frustration. He's definitely upset that I didn't take the A1 cup. Then is that where he put the death ball? Very William-like to pick the first row and the first column. Alright, that's a good start. Even if I don't know where Clyde put his death ball, or Alphonse's for that matter, it's one less landmine to worry about. So then, my hand over to the B1 cup. Relief. A soft sigh stood up from the table. Your move, Alphonse. Yeah. Christ, this ain't getting any better. Plopped himself down in the seat and then glared at the board once more. Not many options left. With each success, his own odds gets worse. Also same for all of us. Question is, who's gonna get the short end of the stick? Well, guess we'll go for this one then. He didn't wait much this time around. His hand simply clutched the cup and... another death ball has been popped up. Well, guess I'm still gonna have to dredge my way through this shit some more. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe it is. Maybe death has more in store for you than life, Alphonse. Alphonse reached for the death ball that he had just revealed and inspected it closely. Alright, send me back then. It's not like I haven't died already. I love when people take death with dignity. It makes my job a lot easier. Well, goodbye, Alphonse. I hope you enjoy Oblivion. Searing white, a flash of heat, an explosion just like the last time. Should cover my eyes. Alright, that's 2 down and 1 left to go. We still have 7 cups left. There's lots more of the game to be played. Don't make that face, William. I'm gonna get rid of the body, don't worry. Just like last time, Belle walked over to Alphonse's charred corpse and burned it into nothingness. Ashes to ashes. Okay, only 1 more death ball to find. Who's gonna get up first? Doesn't it get your blood pumping? So we're gonna win this if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I'm not backing down either. Good. Now I should always be blood slobber knockers. Though I guess this is more of a mental fist fight than a physical one. Either way, good luck. Belle stepped aside and motioned for William to step forward. 7 balls left, 2 of them are death balls. William and I keep getting lucky, perfectly avoiding the death balls. Eventually I'll lose. What are the odds that something like that happens? Low, right? One of us will make a mistake before then. Trying to shake the cups again. Method hasn't failed me yet. William put one hand on a cup of D4 and another hand on a cup of D1. After shaking both a fair bit, he put both hands on D4 and lifted the cup off the board. Whew. Relief, peace, he may be putting on some kind of brave face, but he wasn't sure. Is this method just an act? Some way he can muster up the courage to make a decision? Can't deny it's working for him. Alright, you're up. Try not to break down from the pressure. I think that I'll stay stalwart in the face of impending death. Push some stuff away to at least ensure my safety for this pick. Hans died because he picked Clyde's death ball. After all, he knew where his own was, and Williams is at A1. He was also worried about the C row, rightfully so, at the time since he didn't know where Clyde's ball was, or Richard's for that matter. His own ball's on a different row, either B or D. Yes, I can be sure myself the next 2 balls on the C row are the safest. So let's go with C3 then. Just as I expected. A dead ball nonetheless, too. Sheesh, how do you keep getting lucky? It's a little luck and a little bit of calculations. Hey, I just remember you can read people's emotions. That's jading. It's all the jading. Not cheating, it's using whatever abilities I have on hand to better my odds of winning. Everyone does that, William. Yeah, but you literally can look at me and figure out what I'm feeling when I'm picking a cup. I bet that you know where my death ball is. Maybe. How am I supposed to win against that? I sure did seem a bit unfair, but it wasn't impossible. I'm sure that you can figure out something out. Otherwise, I'll just bet on luck. William huffed as he sat down and cleared the few remaining cups. Great, now to figure out a way to win, knowing that you have an advantage against me. That's life, William. Most people have some kind of advantage over you. Desperation, fear, anger, anxiety, a storm of negative emotions. Some about the situation, some about himself. It's not impossible, William. We basically are working with similar information. We both know where you place your death ball, so really all that matters is who picks Alphonse's death ball. I know that. I just need to think. Try to make a decision knowing that you're watching me. So can you just turn away for a moment? Ugh. Headache. This feels familiar. Dangerous. Ugh. Richard? Give me a moment. I was throbbing with pain. Couldn't focus. Everything was getting blurry. I just turned away and steadied my breath just to think properly. Why now? Why did all this feel so familiar? So familiar? Has something like this happened before? Then am I in danger? Is there some kind of trap being set? Richard, dear, you look dreadful. Belle's voice chopped through the chaos and I felt my mind easing up. I'm better now. Thank you. No need to thank me. Can't be having you break down like that in the middle of a game now. Speaking of, We'll turn to see William shaking the cups again. Ugh. Anxiety, fear, concern, worry. Worried about getting the wrong cup? Please, please. There's cups on the C1 and D1 cups. Well, one of those was definitely safe, the other was unknown. No, not this one, then maybe. Then I ordered the B4 cup and shook it slightly. This one, please. Here's the cup and... Ha! William nearly collapsed onto the table from the relief. Thank God. You're welcome, though I didn't do anything. Right, okay, I'm doing good. William slowly pushed himself away from the board and wiped the sweat off his brow. Your move. Your last move, mind you. Right. What's with that confidence? Suddenly it's like he's assured of himself. Not his usual peacock presenting haughty attitude. It's not fake. He generally feels confident right now. So he knows that he's won, or maybe he just thinks that he's won because the odds are horribly in his favor now. Could screw up, pick Alphonse's death ball, and then lose. Or I could pick correctly and then William could win a 50-50 coin flip and I'd lose right then and there. Well, I don't need to worry about the lather case. That one is out of my hands. I can at least assure that I don't lose this right this instant. Sat down and glanced at the board one last time. He's quiet, anxious, hopeful, excited. He's expecting me to lose right now. Should I say William? But I'm pretty sure that I'll at least be able to assure myself one more round to go. C1 should be safe. I'm nearly certain of that much. Put my hand over to C1. What? Why is he getting excited? No, it's not just excitement. It's joy, glee, happiness, confidence. Confidence. Is he confident that C1 is the wrong cup? What's going on? I hesitated. Something didn't feel right. My instincts were firing on all circuits. Take it slow. Think it through. Think it through. Think it through. Deep breaths. Pulled my hand away from the cup and looked over the board again, passing one glance over at William. He's disappointed. Severely disappointed. Then I'm onto something here. Take a step back. When this was the turn that Alphonse was looking over the C row. Remember looking at his eyes. He wasn't certain of any of them. No information meant that he didn't know if any of the balls on that row were dead. He didn't place his own death ball on that row. My death ball was already picked at D2. Williams' at A1 and Clyde's was at C4. The logic states that if Alphonse didn't put his death ball on the C row, then the rest of the balls in that row must be safe. By that logic, C1 should be safe. And yet... William seems confident to a dangerous degree that if I pick that cup, I'll lose. That would mean his death ball is underneath that cup. But I saw his reaction before. He showed that same excitement and confidence when my hand was over A1. Then, should I just trust my earlier logic? Or should I try and follow his oddity to its conclusion? Well, it might just be a flaw. Maybe I'm reading him wrong. Maybe something is wrong with me. Or maybe... believe in the logic they have presented to you, or trust in your abilities to and deny that logic. That's right. I've been fooled once already. I need to just trust my instincts. They won't lead me astray. That's what he taught me, after all. I just have to take a moment to assure myself. Let's work our way backwards. William must know that C1 cup has a death ball underneath it. That's why he got excited when I almost picked it. How would he know that's where a death ball is? It's not like he knows where Alphonse's death ball is. Oh gosh. He hit it when trying to place his own? It's my feeling. Was he trying to place the death ball when did he collide with Alphonse's at C1? No, that can't be right. I've already confirmed to myself that Alphonse's death ball wasn't on the C row earlier. Plus, if William had collided with it there, then he probably would have taken the death ball by now and not been so stressed. That can't be the answer. Must be that Alphonse told him? Timmy told him the location. Well, that's possible, though, and extremely unlikely. Don't notice any whispers, and William has shown that he's rather anxious and uncertain as to where Alphonse's death ball is. So unless he's extremely forgetful, that doesn't seem likely. Plus, that wouldn't explain why Alphonse's death ball would be at C1, and I've already confirmed that it's not there earlier. Must be a better explanation. It's his own. Is it his own death ball? That has to be it. William can only be confident in one thing, and that's the location of his own death ball. Showing that excitement and confidence whenever I put my hand over a cup that has his death ball, whether it's A1 or C1. That raises another question. How did death ball move from A1 to C1? He swapped. No, if he rotated the board, that wouldn't make sense. Swap the cup locations. Maybe you just swap the cup locations? It's a rather simple answer. If William just moved the cups around, then he'd be able to know where his own death ball was while manipulating the board. It was an opportunity for it while I was suffering from my headache. I wasn't watching William or the board, plus he did ask me to look away. It's feasible, especially since C1 and A1 have a clear line to one another. He could have easily just swapped them around quickly. A3 is an option, but it's a bit far, and swapping with A1 and D1 would require him not to mess with or tamper C1 in the process. There's only one question left to answer. How did William know this was a valid move? I doubt the bell would take kindly to rampant rule breaking. There must have been some way he was able to ensure that this idea would go off without a hitch. Must have been... Figured it out when he shook the cups. Was he shaking the cups? Might have given the idea that the cups were movable. Technically, Bell hasn't forbidden us from being able to move the cups. Decisions were only used so that we have an idea as to where our own death balls were placed. That, any moment, was probably fair game. Williams demonstrated that over and over again, though chances are that if you lift the cup, then it'll probably come as your turn. Bell even said that if it was fine to move the cups around herself. Letting the cups be removing the cups around or switching their positions. William must have focused on that. And thus, he's knowingly moved his death ball from A1 to C1. The best way to test that would be to try moving a cup around myself. Grab the cup on D1 and... yeah, definitely movable. Alright, I'm pretty sure that I'm right. Safe option would be then A1. Even though it's scary, I know it's the right answer. Took a silent breath and move my hand over to A1. Panic, fear, confusion. I've got it. This is it. All underneath this cup will be blue or gold. Blue or gold. Be strong, be strong, be strong. This is right. So, I did it. I was right. How did you? How do you know that was safe? Shouldn't you have known? She even thought that it was dangerous. That's where I put my death ball. How do you know I swapped it? It's not possible. You weren't looking. There's no way you could have known. Carefully stood up, still shaking with dread. Well, doesn't matter. I'll win here. Just have to pick the one spot that doesn't have a death ball. That's all I have to do. I can do it. I can do it. Anger. Desperation. Anger. Frustration. Self-pity. William, it's not the end of the world if you don't win this time around. Everyone loses eventually. In fact, we all have up to this point. You're not better or worse for winning a little later, you know. No one's thinking less of you based on how you do now. You wouldn't get it. No one respects me. No one. They always look down on me. Don't you think it's because of your own attitude? You're always trying to make yourself grander than you have to be. Turns people off, makes you seem haughty and arrogant. I call it superiority complex, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. It's not a complex. I have to make myself feel great. I have to. If not me, then who else will be my cheerleader? No one else will be. What about Elizabeth? Regret, fear, shame. Probably worried that you're going to let her down. Stop reading my emotions or whatever. I'm revoking your right to look at them. Just leave me alone. I'm not letting anyone down. I'm just doing what's best for me. That's what everyone does, right? Prove myself worthy. You'll see. You'll see. Right here. I'm going to pick this right cup. I'm going to win right here. Right here. Right now. Just one of these two cups. D1 or B3. If I pick the right one, I win. I'll win. I'll win. I'll win and people will know I wasn't last. I wasn't a failure. William, please calm down. It's not... Shut up. I'm going to win right here and now. It's this one. William slammed the cup back down on the table. William, I don't think... In a flash, he gripped the underside of the table and flipped it, making a complete mess of the room. Whoops, looks like the table got ruined. Guess we'll never know what kind of ball I picked. We should start over, right, Bill? Oh, no need for that. I saw plain and clear what happened. You picked the death ball. No, I didn't. You didn't see. William, I can count the number of steps you made with your left foot since the game began. I know what you picked, and don't try and play me for a fool. Bill snapped her fingers on the table, fixed herself back up, with the cup that William chose rising up off the table to show the death ball he picked. Ugh. Anger, disappointment, failure. William, like I said earlier, it's not the end of the world. It was just a stroke of bad luck. It happened to everyone. Probably happened to me a number of times, too. Will you just shut up? You don't get it. I don't care if it was just bad luck. I don't care if this was just a stupid coin flip. Why? Why is it whenever I try something, it never works? Everyone else is using their skills, their smarts, their strengths. They get far. They win. They manage to make do. Why the hell am I the one that's not making it far enough? I'm doing everything that I can. I'm using the skills that I've got. Fine. Maybe they're not the best. Maybe they're rusty, but damn it. It's all I've got. Is that not even good enough? How far do I have to go to just prove that I'm good enough? How many more loops am I going to have to be reminded that I'm nothing but a pathetic loser? Just can't take it anymore. Why can't I do anything right? His heart had burst. Too much emotion for him to handle, especially his eyes. Tears rolled down. Snot fell out of his nose. Trying to sell them a beautiful thing is portrayed in movies, television, or art. It is ugly. The face crinkles, fluids flow. Much like our emotions, the face can't hold it together. That's what makes it all the more human, isn't it? Even if it doesn't look pretty, that disgusting display that comes from crying, we all know what it feels like. Worthless, failure, frustration, pathetic, extreme self-pity. Bill, I have a moment with William before you do what you have to do. What is it with you people thinking you deserve these emotional moments before death? Bill's right, just kill me now. It doesn't matter anymore. At least I'll forget this failure too. Please? Ugh, fine. Just make it snappy. Thank you. Over to William, who had curled himself up into a ball, turning his head away and trying to avoid making eye contact with me. It was fine. I didn't need to look at him to know how he was feeling. More importantly, I just needed him to listen. William, you really need to stop putting your self-worth on your abilities and whether they stack up to others. It's not healthy to compare yourself to others. We're all unique. We've all got strengths and weaknesses that make us special. That's a bland-ass response. That's the kind of thing people say on kids' shows. I'm immature, but I'm not that immature. You seem to think that you can't do anything right. That you're weak, that you're helpless, that you're a failure. Yes, I am. I know a guy who thought that he was nothing but a failure once. He dropped out of college because of a game addiction, didn't feel like doing anything, just felt empty. He found his way, though I will admit it took quite a bit of reassurance and reflection. Maybe you could learn a thing from him. What's the use? What could I possibly learn? Have you always felt that you were less than others? Not always, but it creeps up on you. You start to notice how you're different. How you're struggling when everyone else seems to be doing fine. You try and catch up, you put in 10 times of work, but it's still hard, it's still difficult. Everyone starts to make fun of you, they call you names, they like seeing you fail. You just get scared. Why bother trying when you'll get mocked for failing? When your best effort is just the standard for everyone else. And then you start sticking up for yourself. You start pretending you're hot shit, and everyone says you're a hottie and an asshole. There's no winning, so I might as well be my own supporter, right? If they're gonna mock me, I may as well believe in myself. But even now I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm any good. I'm no good. So much I want to say. So much I want to tear down argument by argument. Destroying that bastion of self-pity until all that's left is the honest soul in there. But I can feel Belle's gaze on us and her string-like patience becoming atomically thin by the second. Keep it simple, succinct. I believe in you, William. You said earlier you were here to save your father, right? Think about the strength and fortitude that it takes to do that. I think most people would have broken down and given up, much less boldly marched through these games trying to save their father with such zeal. Take heart in knowing that you have the drive to do what you think will save your family. Not the right reaction. I thought he might be comforted by that. Was I wrong? Dad, Elizabeth, Damn it! Damn it! He's keeping his eyes closed. I can't get a good read on him. What's got him bothered so much? William, you can open up to me. Nope, you had time to put your words in. Now we move on. Mel snapped her fingers and white death ball appeared in her hands. Here, you want peace, William? Here's your piece right here. She shoved the ball to William's chest. Richard, I made a mistake. I just want to respect that. I just wanted people to look at me, but what? everything that I'm doing is just... The flash was great, but I could still see the desperation in his eyes. Sorrow, the shame, the fear, the frustration, all mixed in a moment of realization. Though, I can't know what he was thinking, only that just before his death, he knew something, came to some epiphany. And then, gone. Phew, only that was going on way longer than it had to. Don't look at me with those angry eyes. You really think that a simple pep talk from you would be able to solve all his issues? People are very complex. You can't just stir them to change with a single speech. You don't know that. He was having a realization about himself. Well, I'm just a god that sees the peaks and valleys of humans for numerous years, but you're right. What do I know? Oh, but you know all about feelings, wouldn't you? I think I'm more in tune with them than most. Of course, all because of him. Him? What are you implying? Intrigue. I discuss over a cup of tea. After all, you're our winner, Richard. It's time for you to take your victory to heart. Congrats on surviving and winning Papa. So, what happens now? What happens is you go through that glowing door prepared for you. After that, well, we'll get down to business. See you soon. Disappear in a cloud of blue smoke, not even bothering Clamp William's corpse. Alas, dead eyes don't give any insights. Good luck, William. Hopefully you can carry this epiphany with you in the future. One last party message to no one but myself. And after that, well, the only way to go now is forward. Walk through the glowing door and everything went white. I can feel it. A warm sunlight on my skin. Soft wind blowing, just gently playing with my hair, brushing against my face. Grass. When did I end up laying down? It's like a soft bed. A tickling bed to my face and skin. Like it's trying to wake me up. I let out a sigh and slowly opened my eyes. What an odd place. So serene, so peaceful, especially compared to every other mockery of reality we've been to. This place feels right. Hey there, Richard! Get up off the grass and come on over! Well, no reason to say no. Got off the ground and walked over the bell, taking a seat across from her. She gingerly poured what I assumed was some kind of tea into a cup in front of me. Don't be shy. I promise you'll love it. Anxiously stared at the amber liquid before cautiously taking a sip of tea. Surprise! I knew you'd like it. It's really good. Sweet, but not too sweet. Fruity, like blueberries? Maybe some kind of honey? It has a bitter aftertaste that makes the sip right afterwards taste even better. They make something like this. And you can say it's a little bit of magic. Oh, I just know how to brew the perfect blend for the people that come around here. Be a good host after all. A good host, huh? Splendid host, even. Most people that leave here do so satisfied to some degree. I highly doubt that. And yet they keep coming, so I clearly must be doing something right. I think it's a tea. Or it's, you know, the wishes. That helps, I'm sure. But wouldn't you wanna come visit me again after our time here is done? With all due respect, probably not. Oh, how cruel! You're not quite the spitting image of your father. He was much more polite, much happier to see me again. Dad, right. I nearly pushed the thought of his disappointment out of my head, but here it is again. Worry about what your old father is gonna think. I know he'll be upset. I can't change that. But to do what I have to do, well, there's no need to rush right into business. We're having a tender moment right now, just you and I, no distractions. Are there any burning questions you won't answer? I promise that I'll give you an honest answer. Within my ability, of course. Well, since I'm here, I might as well ask, how do souls work? Assume that you work with souls to some degree, since your wishes can revolve around death and life. Oh, an interesting question. Let me try and explain it in a way that you'll understand best. Pay attention. You're getting info from the god that understands souls like no other. Souls are like milk. Milk? Or water, cola, beer, tea, wine. A little tiny little fluid droplet. That's a soul. And fluids, well, they don't have a form themselves, you know. They sort of shape themselves into whatever container you put them into. Beautiful, really. So our souls are like a droplet of milk? Exactly! Now imagine a bowl, a huge bowl, a bowl with an infinite size, holding an infinite amount of milk. There can be some infinite there can be some infinite size bowl. Why not? The universe is infinite and ever expanding. It must have something that it can get into, right? Think of this bowl as the same thing. infinitely growing bowl, and the milk, well, it's not quite soul. It's like soul stuff. Soul stuff? Think of the ocean, big, vast, full of water, right? Now imagine you took an eyedropper and sucked up a small amount of water from the ocean. That's your soul. Just replace the seawater with soul stuff. So our souls are like a tiny fragment of this infinite well of soul matter? Belle eagerly nodded, seemingly proud that I was on the page with her so far. You take that soul stuff, you put it in a body, and bang! You've got, well, you. Though it's a bit more complicated than that in reality. Souls are so picky, they want a specific type of body, brains, they're so specific. When you have infinite material to work with, well, eventually every body will have a soul that happen to worm its way into it. Huh, what happens when the body dies? Same process but in reverse. The soul leaves the body and goes back to the infinite bowl of milk. Like sucking out that little bit of seawater out of the container and putting it back into the ocean. And there it melts back into oblivion, a soul-like soup, or exists as part of something greater. That's kind of awe-inspiring and scary. Those that fall off losing your identity to be melded into the deep, infinite sea of soul, scary on an existential level? I mean, sorta? Don't fret, it's not so bad. Though you never know it, I guess. A soul by itself can't possibly comprehend what it's like to be part of such a great entity of like a soul soup. But then how do you bring someone back from the dead? I'm glad you asked! This is what separates me from my siblings, or at least one of the ways. I have the amazing talent to be able to pull every little piece of a person's soul, something. I press soul. Hold up. Infinite soul from that great infinite ocean of soul matter. You can do that? I can, though to you it must seem impossible. It'd be like trying to get the exact water molecules of a raindrop that fell into the ocean after 10 million years. Seemingly impossible, but for me it's child's play, though I'll admit that I'm not the only one on my siblings that can do that. But even after you put the soul back together, well, you need to convince it to return to the land of the living. And I'm very convincing. You have to convince them. Indeed, my usual method is singing to them. Singing? You sing the souls to make them come back? Sometimes a dance, recite poetry, remind them of their goals, dreams, aspirations in life. Many of them are giddy, excited, all too eager to return back to the realm of the living. Maybe a bit more convincing. They're tired. Perhaps they don't think there's much left for them back in the mortal realm. And others, well, they don't want to return. For them, though, I drag them back by force because I have a duty to grant wishes in a fair and just manner. After that, you just gotta give them a nice bond to fit into. That really is terrifying. Perhaps so. I take my duties very seriously. And of course, I can do this process in reverse. I run the soul out of a living being and dunk it back in a soul suit. Already done today if you believe it. Well, I lost for words. Just think of me as very accurate eyedropper. Explains death and life, but what about immortality? That one's fun too. Well, ever heard of mind over matter? I think of soul over matter, and I just give a soul a little bit of godly fortitude, and well, it just keeps the soul in a state where it can't leave. A little shift, change, alter the physical realm around it so it can stay there forever. Just until I take it away. Deathless decay. Deathless decay? Oh, you don't need to worry about that, Richard. Just saying is all. So, how's that? Did I nail all your questions? No more baffled than I thought it ended up being, that's for sure. A soul ocean, infinitely sized bowl holding it all. A god that can pluck out all the pieces that make a soul, singing to it to make them come back to life? Bring them back to life? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I wonder, what does a god feel? The bell squared in the eyes, and she met me back with an unblinking gaze. Nothing. Nothing? Nothing? Does she feel nothing? She simply winked at me before taking a sip of her own tea. It's a dangerous move there, Richard. Are you really sure you want to know what a god feels? It might drive you mad. It might be too much for your poor mind to comprehend, too vast for your soul to accept. But I appreciate the attempt. It means a lot to know that you're interested in the inner workings of my mind. Are you saying you blocked it? Of course, your precious ability. It doesn't work on us gods. For your own safety, of course, my brother made sure of that. Your brother? Indeed, your gift. It was a gift given to you by my older brother, after all. Such a generous soul, always concerned with the feelings of others. Maybe you should ask your father about it more than me. I'm not in business of disclosing personal secrets. I had a feeling. Good, good. Good. Well, now that I've sated your curiosity, shall we get down to business? Yeah, let's get to it. You seem to be well acquainted with my various wishes, but for the sake of ensuring that you're fully aware, you can wish for someone to die, wish someone to be brought back to life, grant someone immortality, or take it away from them. Well, let's not mince words here. Want Cole Garrett to die. Oh, no hesitation on that one. Well, wishing so it shall be. Belle raised a finger in the air, waggled it, and tapped on the four-leaf clover that was on the table. So the bright white withering as though it were dying from blight. Eventually recovered back to its green state. Is it done? It's done. He's dead, lifeless, a hollow empty husk. Gingerly took another sip of her tea, looking awfully pleased with herself. When it's done, there's no going back. Why not worry? You know that there will be consequences. I know. Then why worry? Fear is only useful in the suspicion of pain. If you know what's coming, there's no need to be afraid of it. It's not my pain I'm worried for, it's my dad. Well, time will tell how things will end. For now, why not rest? My entire body felt heavy, and intense fatigue took over my body. What is... Shh, don't worry, it's just your time. Sleep now, Richard. After all, we still have a number of trials left to go. Sleep and wake up from the dream? Is this what he meant? I didn't have much time to think over it as a heavy exhaustion burdening my body became too much to bear. My eyes slowly shut, my body relaxed, and I began to dream. Fade away back into the black oblivion. Is this the infinite sea of souls? Am I melding into it? There's just no way to tell, after all, if it is all ceased to be. But at least I can rest knowing that there's one less corrupt soul in the land of the living. I hope that you'll be able to forgive me for this, Dad. I'm sorry. But this is for the greater good. Woo! First of many achievement! An achievement log canvas of the soul! Yay! Chapter X, or X chapter. Richard N. Canvas of the soul. He's got a view right to soul. That gift at first to take a toll. Too much to see, too much to bear. A burden of which he did not care. All the time the curse became a boon. Emotions that he could finally attune. But on a painful, fateful day, he saw a violent, ravenous display. A monster rampaging while others anguish. He smuggled a wish to see it vanquished. In death, the monster was finally tamed. But how will it end after this game? Open eyes see many things. Joy, pain, sorrow, suffering, confusion, conflict. With such a view, it's no wonder that the young man is so ready to help, and harm where applicable. He's surprisingly adept for one of his age, so maybe he'll take his lesson to heart. For now, let's simply begin anew, again. Same as it was before, the only difference now. Belle was gone, the first door had opened up. Aha. So I do a save and then flowchart. So yeah, we are back at the beginning. But I kind of don't want to go back. I just want to split off here. I want to like best I can. So it looks like they have done an update that was like, yeah, based on player feedback, October routes are considered spoiler heavy for a better player experience moving forward. Now, I obviously don't know what routes those are, but yeah, so I do. Richard decided to join Clyde and Parrot for another game. Yeah, he has a choice to make. Going with Alphonse and Maria in door 2 or Lilith and Laura in door 3. Should jump here? Yes. Let's jump to another time. We want to go with Alphonse and Maria. So, I am going to leave it off there. And next time we will go with Alphonse and Maria. So, like I said, I don't know. Save it again and pull up that flowchart. So yeah, I obviously don't know which ones were locked. But you can see my endings on the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 14, 15. Yeah, there's 16. So Yeah, I don't know which ones are spoiler heavy unless I happen to be on it and it just wasn't locked because I was already on it, but I don't know. That one was more of a, like, what's going on and indie things, so. Anyways, next time we'll go with Alphonse and Maria. Continue on this left side, and then we'll do as best I can. Just kind of go left over to right. Unless I get blocked by something. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, a little bit longer, but we had a game to finish. Enjoy the video. Consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing if you really enjoyed it. Consider supporting your channel. All support greatly helps to keep making content like this and more. My links for that in the description below, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye! Also thanks to Vicarious VR for the code for the game. Bye!